introduce Mr. Ahmed Versi.
Home Secretary Alan Johnson, distinguished guests, ministers and friends, Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you all. Thank you all for attending the Muslim News Awards for Excellence. A hearty welcome to you all. I would like to extend an especially big welcome to those who have been nominated for tonight's award, and to those amongst our loyal readers who took the time and trouble to nominate men, women, and children for an award of distinction. Tonight marks the 10th anniversary of the Muslim News Awards for Excellence. During the course of the last 10 years, we have every year in a ceremony such as this shone light on the many worthy endeavors and good news stories emanating from the British Muslim community. The Awards for Excellence initiative began in order to mark another achievement, the 10th anniversary of the Muslim News newspaper. At the time, we wanted to look forward to what the next 10 years would bring, and decided to acknowledge the noble accomplishments and displays of distinction within the British Muslim community. Our purpose was to showcase all the brilliant work and tremendous contributions British Muslims make to Britain, and to identify Muslim role models for the future. I wrote then that the contributions of British Muslims to our society and economy was not readily acknowledged, and that Islam and Muslims suffered under the glare of excessively negative media. I said then too that I look forward to the day when Islamophobic stereotypes will become an anachronism and as unacceptable as racism now is. Sadly, things haven't moved on since then. On the contrary, Islamophobia has considerably worsened, and stories reflecting positively on Muslims and Islam are a rare thing indeed. This is an unfortunate state of affairs because there are enormous contributions being made by British Muslims in all sectors of society. Yet, in the face of our many visible successes, there are those who refuse to relent and insist that Muslims are in need of integration. A decade ago, Muslims were in the main observed and viewed through the lens of fundamentalism. A decade on, they've come to be observed and seen through the prism of extremism and terrorism. The preoccupation with the actions of a tiny, violent extremist minority and a small, vocal, provocative fringe has come to eclipse the everyday Muslim majority. This award ceremony has come to showcase the enormous contributions Muslims are making in the diverse areas of life. We are here to celebrate the hugely impressive array of talented men, women, and youth who are contributing not only to the enhancement and development of their own community, but also to the improvement of the wider society. I feel deeply honored and incredibly proud to be in the company of so many gifted and hardworking individuals. The wide spectrum of people and professions attending these awards offers not only a unique opportunity to network, but an insight and appreciation of just how well integrated British Muslims truly are. It is inevitable, as the editor of the largest circulating ethnic newspaper, and as we approach a general election, that I should touch upon over a decade of the government and reflect on how matters have fared for British Muslims, particularly for those of us working in the media. The incoming Labour government in 1997 was the first time that any government made Muslims feel that their opinions were sought and valued. Labour picked the first Muslim for a safe parliamentary seat and appointed Muslim peers as well as Muslims advisors for a host of initiatives. There are now 4 Muslims in the House of Commons, all of them Labour. And we have the first Muslim minister attending the cabinet, the Right Honourable Sadiq Khan. The government fulfilled many of our long-standing requests. A question on religion to be included in the National Census of 2001, funding of Muslim schools, Sharia-compliant financial products working within UK financial regulations, outlawing of religious discrimination, and of incitement to religious hatred. And the then Prime Minister, Tony Blair, led the way in making senior cabinet ministers available for interviews with the Muslim News. His generous gestures ensured that the other parties followed suit. However, since 9/11 terrorist attacks and subsequent invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq, and more so since July 7, 2005 bombings in London, relations between the government and Muslim organizations have suffered from episodes of severe strain. It is always better for a government and community organizations to talk to each other, notwithstanding differences of opinion on policy issues. Muslims, especially young men and university students, predominantly viewed through the lens of extremism. This certainly cannot be healthy for nurturing of active citizens of tomorrow's Britain. As for the Conservative Party, it is not today the Tory party of old. William Hague, while leader of the party, made significant efforts to turn the party around and began to demonstrate a greater understanding of Britain's diverse faiths. It was under William Hague that we saw Britain's first Muslim member of the European Parliament. This change has continued under the current leadership of David Cameron. There are now 2 Muslim Tory peers, and one of them, Ahmed Versi, is a member of the shadow cabinet. And the Liberal Democrats, too, have made strides in supporting Muslim issues and have one Muslim peer. They aptly reflected society's feeling on war on Iraq by taking a robust stand against it. Nick Clegg demanded that our government and the European Union halt arms sales to Israel during Operation Cast Lead, in which hundreds of innocent Palestinian civilians, including many children, were killed. Whichever party comes to form the next government, there is a pressing need for it to revisit policies that improve relations with the Muslim community and help rejuvenate community cohesion. As devolution and further constitutional reform reshapes our political landscape and institutions, Muslims and other minorities will in time, I believe, come to be considered as English, Scottish, Welsh, or Irish, not just as British. Questions like, are you a Muslim first or a British first? Or are you from Pakistan? Will, such is our hope, no longer feature in the discourses of the future. My congratulations to all of those who are successful and win here tonight. You have an important role to play in Britain. I wish you all a joyous and an inspiring evening. I'm deeply grateful to Faiza Hashimi, President of the International Islamic Women's Sport, who has traveled especially for this event from Iran to celebrate the Muslim contributions to society. And now, I'd like to welcome the Home Secretary, Ellen Johnson, onto the stage. Thank you.